Let's move to the Abrahamic Covenant. It's interesting. Genesis 15:9 says, "And he said unto him, Take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old, and a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon." How many sacrifices do we have in the Abrahamic Covenant? 5. And it's interesting, we have one for every class, by the way. Starting off with the rich who could afford a heifer to the very poor that could only afford a pigeon. The sacrifice and the covenant was made for all of his people that would come out of his loins, no matter what their social status would be. 5, grace, a covenant of grace starting right here in the Abraham's day. How about David's 5 stones? Do you think 5 stones was coincidence? Could have been 4, could have been 1. 2 interesting things about why it was 5 stones. Number 1, because the grace of Yahweh was on David, period, number 1. Number 2, many of you don't know that Goliath had 4 older brothers. So if you thought David had faith with taking 5 stones to a giant that was 15 to 20 foot tall, talk about faith. He figured, well, I better bring 4 more stones because if I kill Goliath, his 4 brothers are going to come after him. I'm going to need 1 for each one of those too. Now, I don't know about you, but if I had 5 giants, I wouldn't even take my .38 caliber pistol, with 10 rounds in it to do that, because I know I wouldn't hit half of the time, much less a stone. And by the way, the stones in ancient Israel, they were about this big. I've actually seen one that was found in ancient Israel, about the size of a baseball. That's a pretty good sized stone. At 120 miles an hour, that would give you a headache.
Come and join us as we travel back in time 4,000 years ago to discover exactly where the holidays of Christmas, Easter, and even Valentine's Day come from. Why do we celebrate the birth of Jesus on December 25th? Whose birthday really is on December 25th? Where did we come up with December 25th? Where did the star on top of the Christmas tree come from? Where did the Christmas tree itself come from? Where did St. Nicholas come from? Are we sure that St. Nicholas even existed? Have you ever wondered where the famous phrase, ho, 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 comes from? It comes from the late 1600s when they used to have plays, and before the devil would come on stage, he would announce himself by saying, ho, ho, ho. Did you know that original Santa's elves weren't little guys that made toys? They were Krampus demons that would punish the children if they weren't good for that year, while St. Nicholas would give them gifts if they were good. Who is the Easter Bunny? Where do we get Easter eggs from? Why do we celebrate Easter on the first Sunday after the vernal equinox? Did you know that Christmas was illegal in the United States until the mid-1800s? Can we celebrate these holidays according to the Bible? This is by far the most popular video on the internet on the history of Christmas and Easter. This video has changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives, and it will change your life too.